The next story is one that you were looking at, Matt, and I guess some people have been looking into Tor. I know there's been a lot of talk about Tor lately and trying to break it and whatnot. And there's been some discussion that somebody possibly has found some sort of hack that can kind of de-anonymize sessions on the Tor network in isolated cases.
So according to the Tor project operators, this has been done. This was successfully performed against the Tor network. As to who did it, it's speculation at this point. We do know that there was a talk that was pulled from Black Hat about the Tor network and de-anonymization. It hasn't been conclusively linked to the same researchers. We also know that Russia had put out a bounty for anyone who can attack the Tor network successfully. That all aside, what did happen is a combination of two types of attacks. One's called a Sybil attack, where you have an anonymized network and you own both ends of it, so you can see traffic going in and out and do some correlation on that. The second one was actually pretty clever. There's, without going too deep into the weeds, there is a flavor of the protocol itself that reaches from end to end. You can send messages between Tor nodes from one node to the next, or from one end of the circuit to the other. And what was happening was users connecting at the entry guard were connecting to hidden services on the other end, and only that far end, that exit node, should have been able to know what the actual hidden service was. What's happening is there's actually a way to send messages all the way back through the network to that original entry guard. Now, if you own both of those, this is a messaging. It's a covert protocol, basically, using two different types of messages to encode data, simply because it's a 1 or a 0 or a symbol or a code of that way. So what was happening was the malicious exit nodes encoded the name of that hidden service in traffic that went all the way back to the entry guard. So now you've got the name of the service, the hidden service, being passed all the way to the entry guard, who knows who the original person connected to the Tor network is. So now you're de-anonymizing users of those hidden services by the original IP address.
Yeah, so I'm going to try to restate that
I went
a little bit more, hopefully a little bit more clearly. But there are three types of nodes, so to speak, in the Tor network. You've got an entry node, you've got a relay node, and there's a bunch of relay nodes. Well, there's a bunch of entry and relay nodes, but in the process, you go into an entry node who talks to a relay node. The entry node only knows who's making a connection to it. He doesn't know anything about the type of the connection that's being made or where they want to get to. The relay node kind of does know where they want to get to, but not who's asking it. He only knows the IP of the entry node, not the far end thing here. And then the last thing is the last hop, which is kind of like a relay node anyway, but he's handles setting up the actual endpoint of the connection to wherever the person's trying to get to. So if you're a bad guy and you can get an entry node and a relay node as part of two components as part of that whole path there, they can use these relay message protocols to kind of send messages back from the relay node encoded that says what they're asking is to get to such and such domain name. And now the entry node, if you have a rogue entry node, can decode those little messages and say, okay, now I do know what this guy was trying to get to because I have a rogue relay node on the inside that's telling me, kind of thing. So that's, hopefully I explained, I don't know. It's a complicated topic. But in any event, if you get enough of these and you can get enough of these injected into the Tor network and kind of control the flow and make sure that you have an entry and relay node at least as part of the communication, you'll be able to at least decode who those people are and what they're trying to get to. Yep. So there's the de-anonymization factor there. So in theory, it sounds like it would work, and they're using some kind of layer in the Tor protocol which allows you to embed some data in there that gets sent back and forth between the nodes. But it's not really supposed to be used for that, but people are roguely using it to do that.
So the flaw has been patched, and anyone who's using Tor ought to update to the latest version.
Oh, okay.
So it has been pretty much solved at this point. It's interesting. I think we're going to see more of these attacks in the future. It's a high value target, and we've known that it works for what it's for. Now, whether or not you believe that Tor is a technology that's used for freedom and struggles against oppression, or a tool for allowing criminal activity, it's here to stay.
Well, just like the internet, it's used for both, right? Mm-hmm. There might the percentages might be a little flip-flopped a little bit more, on the Tor network. But and I guess we should mention what the Tor network is. It is an anonymization network, kind of built on top of the internet, and you can use special software to become a member of the Tor network and route your traffic over it. And it helps anonymize who you are and where you're going to, for those who don't know what Tor is. In any event, interesting story. Kind of interesting that the Black Hat talk was canceled, which makes me wonder what was going on with that. But also good to hear that it sounds like it's been fixed too. So, we hopefully, even though there's some rogue actors out there using this and there's some legitimate people, ideally you want your stuff to be secure. You want it to operate the way it's supposed to be and not be hackable. So, kudos to Tor for addressing it and getting it fixed.